going on, BookTube? That was loud. Get that paper clip out of the way. This is my December wrap-up, January TBR. Hopefully, I didn't meet my Goodreads thingy for 2019, but hey. 2019 was not kind. And some of you may know what happened, some of you may not, but there's a lot more to that, but I don't want to get into that. So. Cheers, my friends. Thanks for checking out this video. I'm just a country boy who likes books and lots of other things. Alright, let's wrap this up. Okay, in December, actually made it through 4 books. And here's one of them, Koster. This is about the Koster site in Illinois. It's about, it's non-fiction by the way, about a site found there. If you're into archaeology, this would totally be up your alley. They found a site on these people's farm where humans had, you know, lived there off and on for at least 7,000 years. Actually, you know, longer than that. Goes back to the Archaic period. They found Clovis points there. And as far as nonfiction goes, this, well, I don't like to give out 5 stars, but this 4.5, just because of the significance. I want to say Mark Richardson either studied this or maybe he'd been to the site. So Mark, you'll have to shed a little light on that. But like I said, if you're into Paleo-Indian, any of the stuff that went on in this country before, you know, white folks showed up and, you know, various things happened. A lot of people don't realize there were millions and millions of people here. But the diseases from Europe, you know, thinned them out. They didn't have any immunity to that, and so when the Europeans got here, they're like, hey, there ain't that many people here, you know, so should be a walk in the park. But a lot more to it than that. I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, a friend of mine from Texas, I had an arrowhead around here, we couldn't find it. I've found several. My uncle's house burned down years ago and I lost a bunch of stuff in it. But here's some partial points that a friend of mine from Texas sent me. And these were just, he was just surface hunting. The color on that's pretty awesome. Now, these were arrowheads. You can see right here, that's where the haft of the arrow goes. Then this would come on up to a point. There's another one. I thought this was a scraper at first, but I think it may have been a spear point. It's a bit big to be an arrowhead, but that is purely speculation on my point. And then here's another partial. But I really enjoy this stuff. I've been hanging out with this guy recently, and we've been doing a lot of scouting in the local hills. And found some interesting things. And he showed me a sketch of a site where, not sure if it's a burial place, but the major stones in the arrangement are aligned perfectly with north, south, east, and west. So he told me he'd show that to me, so we're going to go have a look at some point. Anyway, I'm getting off the subject. Then I read Chills by Mary Sangiovanni, and this was part of Todd and Dane's indie read-along. And I don't know if she qualifies, but some of these lesser-known authors, I like to give them a little bit of exposure. This is murder mystery. You have isolation, small town. It's kind of a Lovecraftian feel to it, and some occult stuff going on there, so a little bit of Clive Barker thrown in. But this was a 4-star read for me, and pretty entertaining. So check it out. Sorry I'm not a bit more chipper, but we've had this freaking flu that's been going around since the beginning of time, it seems like. So then there was Blood in the Cage. If you're into MMA stuff, you know who Pat Miletich was. It's one of the pioneers in the sport. And again, I think 4 stars, and my Goodreads review was, if you like MMA, you'll like this. I'm a big fan of MMA, or anything that has to do with combat sports. And I read The Giver, Lois, Lowry. This was a buddy read with Stephanie over at Lattes and Mockingjays. Thank you, Stephanie. She recommended this book quite a long time ago. I gave this 4.5 stars. It's dystopian. It's in a society where you're basically assigned your occupation depending upon what your tendencies or inclinations, or what that particular society deems you suited for. But the young man in this, he discovers a truth that, you know, kind of messes up his view of, you know, how this actual society is. And the ending is it's quite good. So that's The Giver by Lois Lowry. Lois Lowry. Thanks again, Stephanie. Then for January, this is what I'm going to try to read. Man, that beer's going down awful good. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Kesey. Now, I seen the movie way back when I was a young man, so it was a long time ago. And there's been a lot of people on BookTube that's recommended this, so I decided it was about time to check it out. That's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Then I have a fantasy. This is the first book in the Dark is Rising sequence. Over Sea, Under Stone. And I'm going to do a buddy read with Kara over at Wild Book Garden. So, looking forward to that. Actually, my sister-in-law bought me these books, and I was pleasantly surprised. Then I'm going old school. Robert A. Heinlein, Stranger in a Strange Land. I can't believe I have not read this book. Got into sci-fi back in the 70s, and for one reason or another, just hadn't read this one yet, so I'm going to remedy that. And then for January, for Todd and Dane's Indie Read Along, I'm going to go back and revisit Dark and Bloody by Alonzo Fugate. I worked with this guy when our youngest boy was on the academic club, and had another book ordered, didn't show up, so I'm going to go with this one. So that's it. Wanted to have a bigger list, but I know my limitations these days. So go give those a shot. Thanks for watching. Again, I can't stress this enough. Wish I was a little more energetic, but man, this flu sucks, and we can't seem to shake it. We've all been sick around here. Christmas was great. We got to see our grandkids, but everybody was ill. So you just have to make the best you can out of a bad situation. Anyway, I'll quit rambling on. Appreciate everybody. I really do. Don't forget to give this video one finger up. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.